Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm using a circular canvas. I've actually repurposed this. It was an old canvas, so I've gessoed over the top of it to allow me to pour over it. I'm going to use Pebeo's pouring paints today. So a bit of an experiment. Let's see how they work. I normally mix all my paints up with either just water or a pouring medium, but I'm going to use the Pebeo range and just have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to take you down so you can see the colour palette, and then I'll talk you through the art technique that I'm going to attempt today. So thank you for being here, and let's see what we can create. So these are the colours that I've got in my colour palette. I've got a gold, I've got a silver, I've got a metallic cobalt blue, a turquoise blue, I've got an aqua green, a light violet, a metallic purple, a deep magenta, and an ivory black. So I just wanted to show you all those names and the labels on the bottles. This is just a Pebeo pouring experience, fluid art experiment for me. So yeah. So I'm going to start off by puddling the paints onto the canvas. I've directed that colour into the middle because I really want that colour to be at the forefront of this design. So if there's a particular colour that you really want to ensure features on your creation, ensure those colours are in the middle, because as we stretch out the design and tilt the canvas, any colours that are on the edge or near the edge are more than likely going to be pushed over to the canvas edge, onto the table and off of that surface area. So have a real good think about the colours that you want to puddle and feature on your canvas. So I'm going to take one colour at a time, and I'm going to add small puddles of paint into the centre of the canvas. Even though these are pre-mixed paints, I have got air bubbles in my paint. They're there because I'm squeezing the bottles of liquid directly onto the canvas. So I just pop those air bubbles, and let me show you all these colours that are together before we add our marble and then stretch out the design. So I'm going to place my marble here. I'm going to pick up my canvas, and I'm just going to move the marble from one puddle of paint to another. And that marble, what it will do is it will take some of that paint from a puddle and go into another puddle. and drag the paint as it moves across the canvas as I tilt the canvas. That's going to create some really interesting lines, and they will open up even more when we go to stretch out our design. So this is now about stretching out that design, opening up those lines that were created with the marble, and looking at your overall composition. So I'm turning this canvas slowly, allowing the paint to travel around that surface area. It's a lot slower because there's no paint on the base, so there's no flow extender, there's no paint that's already there that's going to help that other paint that we've puddled to travel across that area. But by doing this slowly means that I don't waste as much paint, but I can control where I really want the patterns to be. So I'm just going to turn it slowly, and then when I'm comfortable with the surface area coverage, I will then start tilting the canvas at a higher degree to allow that paint to drip over the edges. But as I do it and I turn, it's looking at the patterns that are being created on top, the lines that are opening up, and those blocks of colour that were there from the puddles right at the beginning. And I just wanted to show you this really quickly. So if you've still got some raw canvas around your edges, just with your finger or a tool if you don't want to get paint on your fingers, pick up the paint that's dripped onto your table or that's underneath the canvas already, and just dab the paint to cover those white areas. And I do that all the way around the edges so we've got consistent coverage not only on the top of the canvas but also down the edges. So let me show you some of this detail on top, some of that pattern that we've created. And remember, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. It's totally free to do, so hit that subscribe button and then when I release future videos, you're notified of any new content. And there's also hundreds of videos and tutorials that you can look back on depending on what technique you want to do. I've got quite an array of techniques and experiments that I've done along my way too. So have a look at those. And if you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps me reach new people that don't yet know about my channel who might be interested in the paintings that I create. And here's the dry version. It's not really changed much, but what I have noticed with these pre-mixed paints by Pebeo is when they dry, they're very glossy, there's a shine to them, but I will also add a shine to it by applying a gloss varnish myself. I use a Winsor & Newton spray varnish. This one has been so much fun to do. I hope you've also enjoyed it too. And remember, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I really hope I get to see you again in one of the next videos. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you're enjoying your creativity too. And I'll see you soon. Take care everyone. Bye.